I have to show you something kind of weird. It's bugged me for years, and it's time someone else shares in the emotional exhaustion, okay?
Okay, we're here. That's an awful angle. Oh my gosh, I didn't foresee this. Do I change it? It ruins the whole opening sequence. You were supposed to be traveling in the laundry basket, and then I pull you out, but there's not a cinematic angle. Oh my gosh. No. Okay, let me just show you what I came to show you.
Every load of laundry forces me to choose between medium or extra large. Where's the large? And if I choose too small, does that use more water or less water? Or does it take longer or something? I don't know the difference, but I feel like an extra large load might not get all the way clean, like there's not enough room in there. Is anyone doing medium loads? And listen, it's not just the washing machine, okay? Little decisions like this seem to add up over the course of a day and kind of drain me. I used to really trust myself, but something has happened in the last few years, and I've definitely experienced decision fatigue. I question my judgment, overthink small choices. So I've taken note from the minimalists and started eating the same meals over and over, wearing the same clothes over and over. I thrive on routines and schedules and as few choices as possible. My husband and I do this thing when we go, especially when we go to the store. I'll be standing on an aisle for 10 minutes, holding seemingly the same product, but I'm comparing nutrition labels and cost per ounce. So my husband at some point will grab one of them out of my hand and put it in the cart and start rolling away. And it's either instant panic within me because I actually wanted the other one, but I couldn't bring myself to choose it for whatever reason. Maybe it was more expensive or something, I don't know. Or peacefully put down the other product and walk away with him because it's the one that I wanted and I couldn't get myself to admit it. You know what I'm saying? Leonardo da Vinci said, "Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication." And I try to remind myself of that often. Some may call it mundane. I call it freeing up more energy to write stories and create paintings and pour my heart into things and people that matter to me. Especially when it comes to cost per ounce. Now I need to get my anxiety down. The toilet paper aisle is the worst. And that one with the bears, it's a more expensive product, but is it really a better product? Or are you just paying extra for their commercials? And it's typically those things that matter to me most where I have the most important decisions to make. Choosing the load size for laundry, not super important. But other parts of life warrant more light and energy and intuition. And that's what today's visit to Haven Hollow is all about. We started just buying toilet paper in bulk. What are we talking about? How did we get on this topic? Some visits to the Hollow make most sense in a story form, like last month's raindrop journey. Others are just a cozy visit, more of an experience that we go through together. That's what today's is. I want you to be there, experiencing it yourself, rather than seeing it through the eyes of someone else. And that's important, because I really can't help with today's topic. It's more self-guided. It'll make sense, you'll get it. Stick with me. Each part of the Hollow holds a slightly different kind of magic. Today we're venturing off to the unknown forest again, where the magic is fitting for those who are lost and wandering. The fairies assume that if you've entered the Hollow and found your way to the forest, you're likely a magical type person. You're a creative spirit. You have a rather strong intuition, actually, and many spirit guides to help you. But you also might be similar to me in that the creative energy and deep thinking takes over and makes things feel cloudy, and you lose confidence in yourself. You know that following your heart is a nice thought, but it's rather vague advice when it comes to the important decisions. And seeing as you pour your soul into everything you do, everything feels important to you. But you get a little depressed when you force yourself to turn off that passion. A visit to the forest might help reignite that spark and answer some of those questions on which you might be ruminating. So stick with me. In the forest, the fairies glean from the wisdom of the ancient trees and spirit of questioning and wonder. Now listen, this is important. The fairies won't give you all the answers. To do that, they'd have to sit on your shoulder and whisper in your ear all day long, and no offense, but they don't have time for that. I will warn you, you have to be careful what you say to the fairies because they thrive on drama. I've been meaning to talk to them about that, actually. There's this one especially. She's a yapper. Settle down, girls. You drift past the town center and follow the winding river, running through the clover, searching for solace and answers, connecting to the earth. You stumble upon the threshold of the unknown forest because, frankly, you're lost, okay? You don't find the forest, it finds you. You put one foot into the cold dirt and moss of the forest floor and enter its enchanted grounds. And the forest is alive with creative energy and limitless life possibilities, which may be both a little amazing as well as overwhelming. The magic lies in sorting out what your favorite possibilities are and finding the confidence and direction to capture them. The fairies take you under their wing. I mean, not literally, of course, they're quite small, and seeing as you're human-sized, that could get weird. But picture it metaphorically, okay? And the first thing they'll hand you is what we'll call a creative conduit. The creative conduit is not metaphorical, and it's going to be different for every person. So pay attention to what first comes to your mind when I describe that a creative conduit is an object or activity or even a location that sparks your light, sets your soul on fire, makes you lose track of time. A paintbrush, a piano, a yoga mat maybe. I don't know, maybe it's a calculator and a budget sheet or just your favorite meadow of flowers to visit. Like the forest, the possibilities are endless, so listen to your intuitive magic. But it's important that you accept and make time for these creative conduits because it's the first step in accessing your intuition. I think that lost in time feeling is the most magical of all human experiences, and it's important to take time to feel human. You continue deeper into the forest, and the ancient trees provide you with the most beautiful scroll made of the bark of the oldest and wisest tree in the forest. Because the fairies know that when you use your creative conduit and find time to silence your mind, intuition will start to quietly speak to you. And writing those conversations down on the ancient scroll will help you notice the wisdom and magic in its words more quickly and clearly. See, as a human being, you know that you're not the person you were 5 years ago. And for the most part, all those changes you see in yourself happened gradually. If you use the scroll to write even just a sentence or two from your intuition each day, it will gradually build into a handbook for your own life, made just for you by the magic that knows you inside and out. You have your creative conduit and you have your ancient scroll. The next few steps lead you to a clearing in the forest where you get to start making choices again. You can choose the hammock, or the patch of soft moss and flowers, or a cozy little log rocking chair that Granny Leia's husband made for her a while back. She visits the forest often. You take your favorite seat and allow your mind to wander. Since you've entered the forest, you might have a decision or dilemma hiding at the back of your mind for which you've come to seek guidance. It might have already creeped into your thoughts during your visit to the hollow today. You allow those thoughts to surface, and instead of getting stuck in the middle of the muddle of thoughts, you push past them like a little mini time travel on the other side of the decision or problem. Allow your mind the freedom to see the other side. It's important to discover exactly what you want before you can find a clear path through the dilemma. The fairies mention that it's helpful to tie those wants to an emotion rather than objects. Do you really want millions of dollars? Or do you want the security of knowing you and your loved ones are taken care of? They seem connected, but those are two different wants. The wise trees have seen it time and time again. When you allow yourself to know your wants, you open your mind to discover new and creative solutions, like magic. Sometimes we're taught that having wants is selfish. You don't have to worry about that in the forest. You can dream all you want here. It's important to know who you are when you set aside the wants and needs of others. You can factor them in later if they're important to you, but for now, the magic comes from allowing your thoughts to think freely rather than directing them where you think they should go. Because if the next step feels too daunting, maybe it's not the next step. Okay, time for the dramatic caveat, because you're in an unknown forest all by yourself. You've quieted the voices of others telling you what to do, and you've escaped out here to be alone. Except for sometimes, the unknown forest has unknown creatures, and coming across those can have unknown outcomes. And this is the exception to the gradual intuition rule. Now, don't be alarmed just because of the dramatic music. I've been practicing my editing skills. The last time we found a creature out here, it was the forest night glider, Shirley. Yeah, Giselle. And you know, she's a gem. She's so sweet. You're safe in the forest. No toilet paper aisles in the forest. But when you go back to reality, sometimes intuition will hit all at once. It won't wait for your creative conduit activities or your ancient scroll notes. In these situations, it's important to act quickly when the intuition moves to a gut feeling. But spending time in your favorite spot of the forest can help you practice your intuition so you can act confidently when the moment is right, back when reality hits. So not to worry, your intuition's goal is both to keep you safe and happy. The skill comes in finding the balance between the two so that your fears don't impede your progress and your wants don't put you in danger. Perhaps you've already noticed a fearful thought or two come up during your forest visit. One of the fairies will come around periodically with a little basket. You can just put your fears in there for a while because you don't need them in the forest. You can pick them back up on your way out if you'd like, or just leave them behind. But for now, it's important to allow your mind to operate without that cloudy fear. Allow your intuition a moment to shine. Consider the possibilities, try a few of them on, and discover which ones feel best. Once you've spent the time necessary in the clearing, and the voices that usually occupy your mind have quieted, and you have the clarity you came for, the unknown forest will fade away because you're no longer lost. You are a beautifully brilliant and magical human, and even the ancient trees know that you're perfectly capable of making choices for your life. Or at least you'll know what to do when things don't turn out perfectly. Only you can do that, you know? Now it's time to trust yourself.
How does one do the math on 2 ply versus 1 ply? And what does plush mean?
Maybe I should get a bidet.